What's up guys, Nathan here, and today I'm going to give you the top 5 poker hands that poker amateurs love to play, but poker pros know to avoid like the plague. So having worked with a lot of poker amateur students over the years, especially in small stakes games, I've really gotten to see a lot of the hands that they play that kind of hold them back. In this video, I'm going to give you the top 5 that I think are causing them the most trouble. And as somebody who played the game professionally for many years myself, I know that most poker pros do not play these hands. And I do want to point out that some of the hands on this list, yes, you do need to play them in certain situations, such as if it's folded to you on the button or it's folded to you in the small blind. These are highly profitable positions. You want to be playing these hands. And also if you're a tournament player and you're super late in the tournament on a short stack, yes, you absolutely need to be playing some of these hands. But in all normal situations, these are the top 5 hands that poker amateurs tend to overvalue, while poker pros understand that these hands are trouble. They cost you money, so let's jump right into it. All right, so let's count down from 5 to 1. This is the 5th worst poker hand that amateurs love to play. It is Queen 10 offsuit. Now guys, a lot of poker amateurs overvalue this hand, whether it's suited or not suited. Queen 10 is just simply a hand that screams trouble. And the reason why is because you end up playing a lot of top pair kind of pots with this hand. And the biggest problem is when you get into a big hand, you've got top pair, somebody's almost always got a better kicker than you. And the simple reason why is because people don't tend to play worst queen hands like this. They don't play queen 9, queen 8 and stuff like that as much. They tend to play ace queen, king queen, queen jack. You get the idea. So often when you hit top pair in this hand, you're going to find yourself up against one of those hands and you're going to be a large statistical underdog to win the hand. And of course, that's not how we win at poker. We don't win at poker by being in a mathematically disadvantageous positions. Guys, I know this hand can make some straights sometimes, but straights, of course, as you know, don't come around that often in poker. It's definitely one of these hands that we refer to as a trap hand because it gets you in trouble again. So if you're in one of the first positions to act, specifically at the poker table, you're not super short stacked in a tournament or something like that, I highly recommend folding this hand. All poker pros know this hand's trouble. Get this hand out of here. Don't play it so much. All right, so the next hand that poker amateurs tend to overvalue is 10-7 suited. All right guys, I know a lot of people love the suited connectors, the suited 1-gappers, even the suited 2-gappers like this, but these hands, honestly guys, are not long-term winners. By the way, I've always been a fan of the math and the hard cold data in poker, so you can just go check in your Poker Tracker HUD database for yourself. I include links to that in the description below, and you can just go see for yourself which hands you're winning with, which hands you're losing with. And if you played any amount of poker, I guarantee that you're going to be losing long term with a hand like this. A lot of people think, oh, I could make some straights, I could make some flushes, but again guys, those hands don't come around very often in poker. And also with these hands that are 1-gappers, 2-gappers like this, they tend to not make very good straights, and they don't make as many straights as a suited connector, for example. The other thing is, once again, with a hand like this, a lot of amateurs end up playing for a top pair situation. They'll hit their 10 on the flop, for example, and once again, this is just trouble because people don't tend to have a worse kicker. They only have a better kicker. So they hit their 10 on the flop and someone's going to turn over ace 10 or king 10 and they'll lose a big pot. And finally, with a hand like this, sometimes you are going to get flush over flushed as well, because if there's a bunch of diamonds on the board, you've got 10-7 of diamonds and someone wants to play a big pot with you, guess what? They're going to flip over the ace deuce of diamonds or the king queen of diamonds or something, and you're going to be commiserating all your bad luck once again. So guys, for all of these reasons, I'm not saying to never play this hand, but it gets a lot of poker amateurs in trouble. You want to avoid a lot of these sort of suited 1-gappers, suited 2-gappers, especially if you're first act at the poker table. You want to be folding these hands pre-flop. Poker pros avoid these hands. All right, so the next poker hand that gets a lot of amateurs in trouble is 6-4 suited. Now guys, this is another one of these low sort of suited 1-gappers, and again, I've seen so many amateurs play this hand too much, overvalue this hand too much. Again, this hand has a lot of the same problems as 10-7 suited. It makes a bad top pair, a really bad top pair. you're often going to hit your 6 or your 4, and somebody's going to have a higher kicker, or they're going to have an overpair, for example. This is another hand that is just absolutely begging to get flush over flushed. If a bunch of spades come and you've got your 6-4 of spades, there is definitely a reasonable chance that somebody has higher spades. There's not many worse flushes than a 6 high flush. And yes, a hand like this can make a nice hidden straight, but it does not happen as often. Once again, suited connectors make more straights than 1-gappers and 2-gappers. So for all of these reasons, guys, a hand like this, you typically do not want to be playing this hand in very many situations. Believe me, most poker pros avoid hands like this because they understand that they are simply trouble. All right, so let's get into the final 2 hands here. Then these hands really cost a lot of amateurs problems at the poker tables. So the second worst hand is going to be King 9 offsuit or suited. It really doesn't matter. Guys, this is literally the second favorite hand. You're gonna have to wait for number 1. This is the second favorite hand of poker amateurs. By the way, if you guys are enjoying this video, make sure you subscribe. But anyways, King 9, guys, is a really bad hand. And I've seen so many amateurs over the years, they love this hand. Number 1, it makes a bad top pair. You hit your king on the flop. Like I mentioned with a lot of other hands on this list, people don't play worse kings than this. So the biggest problem is, you know, somebody's gonna flip over ace king, king queen, king jack, hands like that, and you're going to lose a big pot because you got your top pair and you think you got a good hand, but nope, somebody's got a better kicker. The other thing about this hand is it makes a bad straight. It just makes the 1 straight, 9, 10, jack, queen, king. So guys, for all of these reasons, King 9 is a classic trap hand that poker amateurs overvalue far too much, and I think you will save yourself a ton of money if you start pitching this hand more. Honestly, guys, I rarely play this hand. I rarely see poker pros playing this hand. Get it out of there. All right, so let's get into the final poker hands that amateurs tend to overvalue far too much and poker pros avoid like the plague. That is going to be ace 7 offsuit, or really any one of these middling sort of aces, an ace 6, an ace 5, an ace 8. You get the idea. Poker amateurs tend to overvalue a hand with an ace in it far too much, and what you guys need to understand is these hands get you into so much trouble after the flop for many of the same reasons of the other hands on this list. Let's go through it. Number 1, it makes a bad top pair. You hit your top pair with your ace here on the flop. People tend to not play the worst aces. They're not in there with ace 6, ace 5. No, what are they in there with? They're in there with hands like ace king, ace queen, ace jack. So a lot of poker amateurs get in sticky situations like this where they end up playing a large pot where they don't realize they're a large statistical underdog because the other person's got a higher kicker. The other thing about this hand is it can only make 1 straight with the 7, and it's a very, very obvious straight that's on the board that everybody can see. You know, it's gonna be something like a 5, 6, 8, 9 on the board. It's super obvious. It's not hidden at all. Whereas at least with a suited connector or even a suited 1-gapper, you're making a straight with both cards, so it's a little bit more hidden. So guys, I would highly recommend that you avoid playing a lot of these sort of middling ace hands. You know, play the ace king, the ace queen, the ace jack, stuff like that. Those are solid hands, but these kind of hands where you got kind of a bad kicker, you typically want to be avoiding them. They're not going to be long-term winners for you. Once again, you can just use a program like the Poker Tracker HUD, which I'll have a link to below, and you can go see for yourself which hands are you winning with, which hands are you losing with, so you can just go see the results for yourself. But I want you guys to let me know what hands are causing you the most trouble at the poker table. Let me know in the comments below. Do you agree with the hands on this list? Do you disagree with them? Do you think I'm totally crazy that the King 9 is a great hand? I want to know your thoughts in the comments below. And if you guys want to see more poker videos like this, make sure you subscribe to the channel here and also shove all in on that like button below if you found this video helpful at all. And lastly, I will leave a copy of my free poker cheat sheet. It's called Massive Profit at the Micros. That'll be the top link in the description below, and that'll give you my complete step-by-step strategy for smashing these small stakes games in particular. And finally, I'll leave another poker video right here that I made recently that I think will help you guys out some more. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. Avoid playing these poker hands. This has been Nathan Williams with BlackRain79.com.